Welcome to Lola's Frugal Life Podcast. If you're on a mission to be more frugal with both your time and money, you're in the right place. In this podcast, we talk about topics that help enhance living a frugal lifestyle. The goal is to save time and money where we can so that we can use the rest on what matters most to us. We talk a lot about both time and money management so that we can waste as little as possible on both. We do this while also embracing a progress over perfection mindset. If that sounds good to you, then please stick around for the latest episode right after a few quick words from our sponsor.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Lola's Frugal Life Podcast. So today, before we get into today's topic, one thing I wanted to share really quick. My youngest daughter recently has been buying some computer equipment, and she went to Target the other night and had to get I think she got a keyboard and a mouse or something like that. And she came home and she told me about how she bought these items and how she saved so much money because she went to customer service and she got a price match. And if the item is on Target online or also on Amazon or something for a lower price, they'll price match it for you. And I would have never even thought to do that. I wouldn't have even thought to look or even known that policy. So I was kind of proud of her that she knew to do that. And she actually went to the customer service and it was pretty significant. I think the keyboard, she said was maybe $70 in the store and she got it for $40 something, and then the mouse was $7 different or something like that. It was pretty significant. It was kind of more higher end computer stuff that she was buying, so I thought that was really pretty cool. So I just wanted to share that. And then as far as loving lately, I don't really have anything to share on that one, but I'm hoping that I will love tonight tomato sauce that I'm making from our garden. We grew I think it's Roma tomatoes, and we had a ton. One plant gave us so many tomatoes, so I've been freezing them, and then tonight I'm actually going to make sauce to use for chicken parm and spaghetti that I'm making for dinner. So hopefully we will be loving that later today. As far as reading, right now I'm listening to Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. It has a Goodreads rating of 4.32. I'm about a little more than halfway through it. I'm really enjoying it so far. Quick description that I saw on Goodreads says, set in the high-pressure world of emergency medicine, the book explores themes of love, second chances, personal growth, and complexities of life and relationships. I really think it's pretty good so far. It's just kind of a nice, enjoyable story. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's just very it's just kind of nice. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm enjoying listening to that. And I just finished She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica. This has a Goodreads rating of 3.81. I really liked this book a lot. It's about this woman who is a single mom to a teenage daughter. Crazy stuff happens at the hospital where she's working related to a patient. And there's just all kinds of twists and turns, and I was really surprised towards the ending on how it all kind of what the final twist was. So I really enjoyed that book, and I've read that author's books before and I've always liked them, so I really enjoyed that book. So I just finished that a few days ago. My favorite meal that I made this week was sausage and cheese crescent roll breakfast casserole. I love meals that you just kind of put everything together in one dish and bake it. For some reason, those feel so super easy to me. So this is a breakfast for dinner. You just cook up some ground sausage. You put it in a casserole dish. You scramble up some eggs. Well, first you put crescent rolls on the bottom, then you sprinkle the sausage over it, and you scramble up some eggs and milk and cheese, and you pour that over top, and then top it with more cheese, bake it in the oven. It's so easy, and it was really good, and I love having breakfast for dinner every once in a while. So that was definitely my favorite meal this week. So today I wanted to talk about minimizing decision fatigue. So If you ever have one of those days where you just can't handle making one more decision, that is decision fatigue. Something that might have seemed minor had it occurred in the morning can sometimes feel like it's just too much to deal with right now at the end of the day. It's really when we have trouble making a good decision or in making any decisions at all because we've just made too many decisions. We either had a really stressful day or it's just been a really long day with lots of smaller decisions made. And just like our bodies get worn out, our brains get worn out too. And when we have one of those days, it requires us to make a lot of decisions. Our brains get really tired, and even minor decision making that happens throughout the day can really kind of add to our likelihood of experiencing decision fatigue. So there's certain things in our life that we always have to make decisions about. So if we try to minimize those decisions and kind of decide once on certain things or make those things easier so that we don't have to put as much effort into those everyday things to make decisions on. So by trying to kind of scale back on the number of clothes and outfits and choices that you have to pick from every day, that can actually free up some of your mind to make other decisions that have to be made. So if you know, like, okay, if it's just like a regular day at home, I'm going to do like black leggings and a top. Or if it's you're going out somewhere in the summer, maybe you have a certain kind of shorts you wear and a certain just like a t-shirt or something. You want to kind of try to simplify so that you can mix and match your clothes more easily and kind of have like a standard of what you wear. By doing that, it makes it a lot easier to not have to sit there thinking about what you're going to wear every single day, which is kind of the first part of making decisions every single day if you don't have a way to simplify that further. You can have like a larger variety of clothing if you want for certain special occasions, but if you can find a way to make your everyday more simplified, it just makes it so much easier to get up in the morning and just grab something to wear and not have to be sorting through all these kind of clothes, trying to figure out what you're going to wear every single day on a daily basis. What to eat is another one. Of course, most of us know that we have to, well, not most of us, we all know we have to eat every day, but we don't all meal plan. And as most of you know, I really love meal planning. To me, I look at my meal plan, I already know what is for dinner that night. I never even have to worry about making a decision about it on a daily basis. I make a decision when I make my meal plan, and I do that kind of over the course of time, but I never have to wake up first thing and say, what am I going to wear? What is going to be for dinner tonight? Those decisions are already made. So it's just makes it so much easier to me to have the meals that I'm going to make already planned out in advance, and I can just get up and take out what I'm going to have for dinner. I just look at my meal plan. I say, okay, tonight we're having chicken parm, and I go downstairs and I take out chicken and I take out mozzarella and I take out whatever I need, and it makes it that much more simple, and I do not have to make decisions on a daily basis about what we're going to eat. And, another thing with cooking, whether you meal plan or not, one way that you can also save on decision making is not feeling like you constantly need to be making new recipes. You don't always have to be making new recipes. If there's things that you enjoy and your family enjoys and you like to make them on a regular basis, make them on a regular basis and make them more often. You can repeat meals much more frequently than some people think we can. I feel like a lot of people think they always have to be making new recipes or trying different things, but if you like something, make it. It's that much less time you have to spend searching for something new to make. What to clean is another one that we often struggle with making decisions about. For some people, keeping their home clean comes naturally. Not for me. Not that I don't kind of keep our home generally pretty neat and clean, but I stress out over the tasks that occur on a periodic basis. I'm pretty good with like the regular stuff like dishes and laundry in the bathrooms and like kind of like those really big major things. But when it comes to things like dusting the ceiling fan, cleaning windows, washing curtains, all those kind of things, I really overanalyze it. I start thinking too much about how often something should be done, what should be done first. And instead of actually getting those things done, I might just spend time trying to make decisions about it. So by having a really good cleaning routine, that can really help lessen the chances of you having decision fatigue over something like this. So for example, I might decide every single Tuesday night, like I'm doing right now, I'm going to do the bathrooms and then I'm going to do some zone cleaning. I might decide on my lunch break every Wednesday I'm going to clean the microwave. Just kind of picking certain tasks that I know that need to get done and having them on a rotating schedule can really be helpful. And when that's not working, which for me, I'm doing the Tuesday thing, but I'm not really doing like a lot of other tasks on certain days. I have an app where I kind of determine in there what I think the amount of time different tasks should be done, and I just look in the app and see what's due. It's always past due. Like I always say, I never am really up to date of what I would like to do, but at least it can kind of give me a guide on what I need to do next, and I don't have to sit there stressing about what to do. I could just look at it and say like, okay, let me wipe down the entertainment center in the family room, or clean the hallway vent, or whatever I need to do. So cleaning is something that we always have to do, and we always have to make decisions about what we're going to do. So if you can have that kind of on autopilot, that is definitely frees up some space to not have to make decisions about that on a regular basis. And then at work, depending on the type of job you have, you might need to make many decisions throughout your day. And if you're using your mental energy making decisions at work, you're going to be drained by the time your workday is over. So I found it really helpful to prioritize at the end of my workday what I'm going to do the next day. So before I wrap up the day, I make sure I leave a little bit of time at the end of my day. I look through my list that I had planned out for the current day, see what I didn't get done, see what's still a priority, see what I had originally on my list for tomorrow, and I'll try and pick only a handful of things that are the most important that I really need to get done and put them on my list. Because what happens is when you put too many things on your list, you come in to start your workday, or even at home if you have a list of things you want to do at home, and you look at this enormous list, and if it's just too much, it can really make you feel like it's too overwhelming, and that can cause you to procrastinate. So just by planning for the day before, by looking at what your tasks are that you need to get done and picking like what is the most important to get done that next day and writing it down in advance. When you start your next day, you could look at that list and tackle those immediately. And then if you wind up having more time, then you can look and see what else you might be able to get done. But just remember, this is kind of like a work in progress. No matter how much we plan ahead, there's always going to be those days where we have to make many more decisions than we have the energy for. But really by trying to identify those recurring decisions that happen on a daily or weekly basis in our lives can really help us limit that mental energy that we're going to spend on them. If you know you're going to have to be making a decision about something all the time, try to see what you can do to make it simpler so that you're not constantly thinking about what to wear each day, what to make for dinner, what you're going to clean, all of those types of regular things, what you're going to give for certain gifts, or what you're going to bring for a holiday event, all of those types of things. If you can decide once and make those decisions done ahead of time, that will just make your life just that little bit easier, and then build from there. Try to really think about what else can I decide about in advance. If you listen to oh my gosh, Kendra Adachi, I could not think of her name for a second. She's the Lazy Genius, and she always talks about decide once. Like, what things can you decide once about? Can you decide that if I have to give a coworker a gift, it's always going to be a gift card to Amazon or whatever? Like any little thing like that, that is something that occurs regularly in your life that you can decide once about. And anytime that comes up, it's one less decision you have to make. It really makes a difference. So that's it for today's topic. I hope you can kind of get a little bit of that decision making a little more automated in your day, because I think it really makes a big difference when we can do that. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you back here next week.
So thank you for checking in for this podcast episode. And don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Lola's Frugal Life. And you can find a blog post for most of my episodes, and definitely all of my meal plan episodes, at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I could see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast. Those ratings and reviews are what help the show come up better in search results so that other people can find this podcast. So that will really help me in growing my audience. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.